Hi there, it's Nigel here. Today we're on a small farm close to Edenbridge. On this farm they're unique in that they have their own butchery. It's called Goodtrees Farm Butchers. It's run by Ian and Marie, and they have a really talented team of young butchers, some of whom we're going to catch up with and find out about how they got into butchery and actually started their own farming businesses. So yeah, please, if you enjoy the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
Right, well, I'm Ian Melluish, and this is Goodtrees Farm. We purchased the farm in 2014. At the time it was a bit of a wreck, so we've spent the last 12 years renovating the farm, from putting a new ring fence in, roads, new buildings. We renovated the house, and we, in the process of developed a business with a butchery. We raised our own cattle, we raised our own sheep and goats, and we were, the idea was to put them into meat boxes and serve the local community. We struggled finding a good abattoir stroke butcher, and in the end we invested in a small butchery unit and started doing it ourselves using a friend of ours who was a butcher. And from there it's rolled. People have contacted us saying, could you do that for us? Could you process my pig? And the business has developed and grown since there. We've expanded considerably. We've invested quite a lot in the building, in the infrastructure, the logistics, to a point we now employ 4 full-time butchers.
And what would you say, so it's predominantly cattle, sheep, and pigs?
Yes, beef is probably the main animal that we butcher. We have a regular supply of sheep and pigs, occasionally goats, and very occasionally squirrel.
Squirrel?
Yes.
Tell us how come squirrel?
We had a customer at Blackheath Farmers Market, which is where we go every Sunday, and he asked, could we butcher a squirrel, because he was looking to make a squirrel curry. So we acquired the squirrels from the farm, and we promptly butchered and supplied them to him.
Has that become a big contract for you guys?
Not big, sporadic.
Brilliant. And you also do poultry as well, is that right?
Yes, 2 years ago we invested in a poultry killing unit, so we can now process on a small scale 100 birds at a time, which again is ideally aimed at the smallholder. And we bring the chickens in, we process them on day one, we gut them, we hang them overnight in a dedicated chiller, and then tie them as whole birds or butcher as per customer request.
Brilliant. Can you talk to me about your own livestock you've got here on the farm?
Yeah, we've got some Hereford cattle, we've got belted Galloway cattle, we have Sussex Wagyu cross cattle, we have a smorgasbord of sheep. My wife seems to pick and choose all sorts of strange breeds, so we've got Welsh Mountain Badger Face sheep, Herdwicks, Suffolk mules, so they're an eclectic mix, but we use them all eventually for the meat box and the market.
Have you got a favourite breed of sheep?
I quite like the Herdwicks. I definitely don't like the Welsh Mountain Badger sheep. Whilst they taste excellent, if you put them in the field, you can guarantee they will escape. So yeah, our neighbours know a lot about our Badger Face sheep.
And your goats, are they well behaved? I mean, they're quite, they're quite famous for being mischievous.
No, the goats weirdly actually stay within a pen. We take them out definitely during the summer and when it's dry into the fields. They will follow a bucket, so they come back in the evening. Although when it's really warm like it is now, they stay out all the time.
So yeah, it sounds like you wear a few different hats then. And so do you have a preference between the butchery and the farm? I mean, I suppose they're linked, aren't they?
They're linked. I'm more responsible for the management of the butchery, although I have been known to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to start mincing. But no, generally I oversee the butchery. I probably are the point of contact to customers. But no, I prefer probably being out in a tractor or doing stuff around the farm.
And so for farmers interested in maybe trying to sell direct themselves, do you have any kind of like Ian's top tips or something like that?
I think if you've got good quality cattle and you can present them in terms of a marketing strategy, get your own logo, get your own identity. We can present the meat for you in a good fashion. It can be vacuum packed, packaged how you want to your customer specification. I think there's definitely a growing market for locally sourced beef, pigs, sheep. So yeah, I guess you need to know your customers as well. I do slightly caution people that when they deliver a beef animal to us, you know, they are going to get somewhere close to 200 kilos of meat back, and it's always good to have either a freezer or a lot of customers who are ready to take that meat when it's ready. My experience probably is closest to being at Blackheath Farmers Market for 3 years now. We have a really loyal customer base. They are interested in the meat. A lot of customers want to know what the breed is. They can tell me the difference between a Belted Galloway and a Sussex Wagyu. So it's an educational aspect. I learn from them, they learn from the meat we supply them. But yeah, definitely there's a growing demand for people that it's not necessarily just on quality and price, it's on regular, available, good quality. I think the issue is really around the abattoir. We've got a local abattoir in Four Elms, but they do an excellent job, but they're limited to the number of cattle they can slaughter a week. STM in Henfield is a much bigger operation, but they have challenges when they get busy, and there isn't really capacity for every demand. So you really need to plan ahead, work with the abattoir, book in with us, or book in with any butcher, and that's the key for the operation to run successfully. Liaise with the abattoir, liaise with your butcher, and get them aligned, because otherwise, if you're out of kilter, you have a problem.
On the kind of hanging side, so certainly for cattle and sheep, you'd advise hanging, dry aging the carcass.
Yeah, we have a dry aging chiller, so we can control the temperature. There is a dehumidifier in that chiller as well, so we control humidity. Typically, a lot of people will ask us, yes, we'd like to hang it for 28 days. We always caution and say, well, let's see the carcass first, because if you have a carcass with a good fat covering, not a problem to hang for 28 days. If it's a more lean carcass, whether that's the breed or the way the animal has developed, if you hang it for 28 days, you really are going to impact the quality and the actual meat you will get back. So yes, aging is good, but we tend to do it on an individual basis rather than the carte blanche. Yes, it's 28 days. I think it depends the scale you farm. A lot of the schemes that are being made available are aimed more for the large scale farms. We have 100 acres here, so to realistically farm 100 acres, you are struggling to find a scheme that will support you. Half the reason we went into diversification with the butchery was to support the smaller number of animals we had. We needed an output for them, and the butchery was that source to market for us. Yeah, I can't really comment. We're small scale farming, but we do it on a small scale, but we enjoy it.